They say Caesar ordered him burned alive and thrown into the Grand Canyon. They say he should have died, but death wasn't ready for him yet. Joshua Graham, the Malpais legate, stood atop Comanche Point, his body smothered in thick, viscous, natural pitch. The Legion had set him ablaze, heat searing through his layered clothing. A long-sleeve shirt, his vest, thick jeans, underclothes, each layer absorbing the flame like sacrificial armor. His face and his arms bore the brunt of the fire, raw and blistered beneath black streaks. The pitch itself behaved strangely under the flame. The top layers liquefied, boiling, smoking, while the lower layers remained thick and viscous. Still conscious, still burning, he likely passed out within a minute or so, due to the agony, collapsing under the weight of pain and shock. Then came the push. Caesar's men shoved him backward, over the precipice. His body tumbled, feet overhead, spinning in the air, striking the first rocky terrace. The force of the impact rolled through him, distributing the trauma across a larger area of flesh and bone. He slid, fell again, smaller drops this time, sometimes landing on his back, sometimes on his stomach, each blow compressing his lungs and rattling his broken bones. Now the pitch that was lower down, that remained viscous, started adhering to the dirt and the sand, in effect, acting like a natural fire extinguisher. The pitch hardened in places, and the grit of the sand acted as both glue and cushion, binding debris to his burned skin and slowing further burning. He lay there, battered, charred, and broken, off to the left-hand side of the cliff that stood above the Colorado River. Minutes, perhaps hours passed before he finally stirred. Pain, shock, and concussions blurred his senses. Waking too quickly might have killed him outright. But when he finally opened his eyes, the harsh desert light revealed a world that had not yet claimed him. The river flowed below, south, toward Legion territory. He drank, but he would not let the water carry him into enemy hands. Instead, he pressed northward. With fire seared into his skin and bones fractured, Joshua relied on years of survival training. He gathered plants to make healing powders and bitter drink. Healing powder is just dried, crushed Brock flower and xander root. Could have used it as a poultice, applied directly to his burns to stave off infection. Bitter drink, it's a steeped version of the ingredients of healing powder, helps bolster the immune system and fight off infection. His tools were simple, a knife he kept in his boot, a few scavenged containers, and his knowledge. Fire from campfires was used sparingly. Exposing raw burns to sunlight or flame would have been lethal. Water was plentiful along the river. Small, woven fish traps provided protein, and every night he crawled along the banks of the Colorado, scavenging herbs and keeping his wounds clean. By day he hid in the shade, resting, letting his body heal as best he could. Through this, he slowly began the long, torturous crawl north. Each movement measured, deliberate. Each clawed inch, agony and necessity. His clothing partially charred, peeling away as he moved, skin flaked, sores crusted with sand, bones never set fully, leaving him twisted and lopsided, yet alive. Every mile was a victory over pain, over death, and over the Legion's hatred. Even the desert bows to no one. Yet he moved through it as if the land itself feared him, or God loved him. Weeks, or perhaps months, had passed since Joshua tumbled from Comanche Point. His body broken and burned, moved north in a slow, agonizing crawl. Every muscle screamed, every bone remembering Caesar's hatred. He spared himself no rest, forcing himself forward despite the pain and infection, driven only by the faint hope of reaching home. When he finally saw the waters of Lake Powell, he knew he had crossed back into Utah. The Legion was far behind him. For the first time since Comanche Point, he allowed himself proper rest. He set up camp on top of Gunsight Plateau, a natural fortress surrounded by 3 sides of water. From here, any who approached would be seen well before reaching him. For roughly a week, Joshua remained mostly still, moving only to eat, drink, and redress his wounds, along with drinking his bitter drink. The bitter drink, a gift from twin mothers, steeped from Brock flower and Xander root, coursed through his veins, fighting internal rot and infection that had already set in. The powdered poultice caked on his burns and scrapes continued to protect him from the outside. Slowly, painfully, he regained his strength. The tortured crawl became a limp, and then a weak, faltering walk. He was alive and mobile, and more dangerous than he had ever been. Once rested, he continued along the northern edge of Lake Powell, hugging the water and moving mostly by night. His process was careful, avoiding cliffs, staying hidden in the shadows, taking weeks to traverse the rugged terrain here. Eventually, he reached the branch in the rivers. One, the start point of the Colorado, and the other fed into the Colorado, known as the Green River. He followed the Green River branch, knowing it would lead him closer to his home. At the ghost town of Green River, he found something more than shelter. Among the ruins, scavenged and abandoned, he discovered new clothing, scrap for survival, and a gift from God. A weapon that would become his companion, a light shining in the darkness. The pistol was a work of craftsmanship and faith. Compared to the standard .45 auto pistol, it fired faster, it hit harder, carried a more precise aim. It was etched with Greek text, and whispered a promise of hope to him. And the light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not. The weapon was compact, yet deadly, with trench sights to pierce shadows, a skeletalized hammer and trigger, and a snakeskin grip to match the burned man's resilience. Joshua took it into his hands, and he knew this would be his light as he continued northward toward home. Re-equipped, his body slowly healing under the bitter drink and poultices, Joshua prepared for the next leg of his journey, the final push toward home. The ghost town's desolation was fitting. It had survived cliffs, fire, rivers, and months of torment, but the greatest challenges, his own failing body, and the long road ahead still awaited. Months had passed since the Legion's fire and the cliffs of Comanche Point, yet the land still remembered his pain. Joshua moved north along the well-traversed arteries of the wasteland. He followed Interstate 70, then turned onto 191, each step a testament to endurance and faith. The scars on his body marked him as one touched by fire. The story of his survival traveled faster than his feet. By now, rumors whispered across the deserts. The man who survived Caesar's judgment was walking the wastes, returning home. Along 191, he encountered slavers, not tied to Caesar's legion, but just opportunistic predators. Without hesitation, he dispatched them, freeing those taken by their cruelty. Some he helped, others he punished. but all were witness to the man whose wrath burned hotter than fire, yet whose compassion still lingered beneath the scars. Travelers, traders, scavengers, prospectors, raiders, all who crossed his path spoke of the burned man. And they spoke of a figure moving like shadow and flame, appearing where help was needed, and leaving justice in his wake. He traveled mostly at night, the sun's cruel heat a reminder of his burns, till he reached Route 6, moving northwest toward Provo. From there he skirted the ruins of Salt Lake City, careful to avoid those that might recognize him, before finally arriving at New Canaan, built amongst the ruins of Ogden. The people of New Canaan had heard of his survival, and though they were wary and disappointed in his sins, they welcomed their broken son home. The prodigal son had returned. His body still remained shattered, bones broken, burns raw and untreated. His strength regained only enough to walk. For the next weeks, his people worked on him. They rebroke misaligned bones, stitched deep wounds, and treated his burns. Not to ease the pain entirely, but to make him whole enough to move without constant agony. And Joshua, he accepted the suffering, taking it as punishment for his past sins, while carrying his guilt and sorrows as a mantle. In this crucible, the burned man became more than a survivor. He became a zealot of his faith, a man tempered by fire and pain, the embodiment of both human endurance and divine purpose. Even as he rebuilt, the world still remained cruel. While hunting and scavenging, Joshua learned that the White Legs, a brutal force and faction led by Ulysses, had destroyed what remained of New Canaan. The attack was merciless, the elderly and children strung up atop the walls, in direct violation to New Canaanite faith. Whispers hinted at cannibalism, and the sheer horror of the White Legs' actions fractured Ulysses' faith in the Legion itself, an act so heinous that even Caesar could not condone it. Joshua gathered the surviving few, the remnants of his people, and led them south into the Zion Canyon, seeking refuge among the tribals Daniel had encountered, and the dead horses and the sorrows. Here in the sheltered valleys and canyons, he carved out a new home, known as New Zion, a place of survival, faith, and renewed hope. Though the threat of the White Legs loomed ever near, Joshua Graham's legend had become cemented. From Comanche Point to the rivers and the roads of Utah, through ruins and ghost towns and desert valleys, the burned man had walked the waste, surviving impossible odds, and returned to lead his people once more. His story, carried by whispers and fear, became a testament of pain, endurance, faith, and the unyielding spirit of one man who walked through fire and lived. Thanks for watching. I was trying something new with this one here. This entire idea of a video started when I replayed Honest Hearts just a little while ago, and the beginning slides made me think of, well, where exactly in the Grand Canyon was Joshua Graham thrown from? And it couldn't have been anywhere near Zion because, well, he went home first. It says in the intro slides that he went home to New Canaan. So it made me think that, well, how far was he from New Canaan? So I traced the way I thought he would go, following the water till he got to a good place far outside of Legion territory before hopping on a road and heading toward his home, which is Ogden in Utah, just north of the Salt Lake City. So yeah, this was an interesting one. Probably still a little stifled by reading. You know, it's not bad though. I'm getting better at it. Like to thank Eric Hewitt and Big O for sticking around. Thanks, guys. It means a lot. If you want to become a member too, the link is in the description. And since I didn't do this in the beginning of it because I felt like it would throw shit off, if this is your first or second time here, hope you enjoyed the video. If this is your third time here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you can stay updated on when I post. Anyway, I don't know. I might do one of these for like Ulysses next. Maybe go back to Weapons of the Waste. Those are easy to make videos and fun to make. So, along with that, made some short videos. Side tangent here. If you guys want to click off the video right now, go ahead. I won't mind. Side tangent here, though. I made 2 short videos as of making this video here. I'm going to make more of them later tonight and upload them. I made 2 videos. One on the 9mm pistol and one on the Lear. Right. 9mm pistol got like 1,900 views. They were short views and they were less than... the entire video was less than 15 seconds long. Pretty much just saying, hey, the 9mm is a Browning high power. Cool. The Lear one, which is pretty much just saying, hey, the laser-assisted electrical rifle, that's what it's called, was the precursor to plasma tech because it proved you can contain plasma in a field to shoot it at targets. So that video, you know, uploaded it, went live and whatnot. You know, like 1,000 people saw it, and I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. You know, shorts are probably going to do the same thing my normal videos do. Go out, flounder about, whatever, since YouTube's weird purge thing. Woke up the next day and it had like 4,000 views. As of right now, it's sitting at like 7,000. Nope, 9,000. I have more watch time off of that stupid fucking short than I do off of any other video I've posted since YouTube's purge. And it pisses me off. Okay? And the biggest thing here is that YouTube has pretty much now actually allowed my stuff, my older videos, to be shown to people again. Right, the video, the challenge run I just uploaded was me pretty much acting as the ranger with the big iron and hunting criminals and shit in New Vegas. Over the last few months, I've gotten like, you know, maybe 100 views per video. When before the purge, I was getting over 2,000, and it was only going up with each video I put out. This one now has like almost 1,000 views. So it's in line with what I used to get at this point in time, since it only came out Thursday and it's Sunday. Which is just insane to me. So, if you're a YouTube creator and you're making videos and stuff, longer form, anything over like, anything technically not a fucking short now, and you're having issues with people not watching, just rehash a couple of your videos into 15 seconds. 15 to 20 seconds. I wouldn't even go near a minute. Just 15 to 20 seconds. Just rehash them like, hey, did you know you can beat Fallout New Vegas with only one hand? Here's a link to the full video. Or just some other random did you know fact from whatever you're doing. And just put it out there as a short. I guarantee you a bunch of people are going to see it. And the normal traffic to your videos is going to go up for some reason. Anyway, enough rambling. I've rambled for like 4 minutes. Thanks for watching. I'm going to edit this one now.